Welcome to Softcore History.
Welcome back to Softcore History. I'm your host for the week, Damage Jester, and I am joined as always by Rob Fox and Jay Golban.
That's me.
What is
Rob.
up?
Hello.
Welcome back to Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, spooky month.
We took a brief but important pit stop on Friday. Go ahead and check that episode out.
Well, we made an extra stop.
Just off the old Mediterranean.
Yeah, we
Just
didn't.
a lovely spot.
We didn't take any spookiness away from you.
It's a horrifying place to have existed for 4,000 years.
Yeah.
And to this day.
Thought we did a pretty good job handling it, so check that out.
I didn't get one threat.
Did
No
anyone
threats.
ask how you
Man,
were?
no one cares about you either way. No one texts you to see if you're okay, and no one DMs you to threaten your fucking life.
Mama, I made it.
It's a perfect place to be.
Yeah. Irrelevant. No, I had a friend call me. He goes, just to be clear, I'm not calling to check in on you. It was about the Gator game.
I actually check in on Katie if there's a Gator loss.
Don't do that. I don't mean like don't check in on her. I mean like don't say that.
Last Saturday, after I had 2 crushing sports losses, I was like, babe, this is so dumb, but I just need a minute.
I need some space.
I just
Handle
really
the kids. I'm going to go for a walk.
I just really need to decompress.
So I am fine out before the game and after the game. It is during the game that I'm a nightmare.
Yeah, same.
It will not ruin my night if we lose. Like, I will be, all right, that's over.
Rob just checks out.
Yeah.
Like, down a run, Rob's done.
Yeah.
Down 1 run, pistol in the mouth. I'm sucking steel.
Little house cleaning off the top. Make sure to check out patreon.com/softcore history. You get 2 additional episodes every week. Usually a voicemail episode and an extra episode like this. Softcorehistory.com for merch. Patreon, you can actually get a 20% off discount code if you join the Patreon.
Yeah. Was it use that code?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
I was about to say the code. Yeah.
Don't say the code.
But dude, check it out. I have the Patreon episode this week. I'm really excited about it. It's the most.
It was so good. We haven't recorded it yet, but I can just tell.
It's the most fucked up exorcism I've ever read about.
Oh. Is
It's
it
a good
in
thing we
Africa?
didn't do the same
It
topic,
is.
huh?
Do you know that one?
I think I do.
Damn it. Well, I'm sure.
I don't know the details,
okay,
but I know it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's from Africa.
Yeah. That's going to be a doozy. Also, you should watch on YouTube
Yeah, I was
because.
going to get to it,
Oh.
but thanks for fucking stomping all over my episode.
Well, I was just going to celebrate you for a minute. Dan has just been improving our set deck week after week.
Look at this thing next to me.
I'm sitting next to a 15-foot tall skeleton right now.
That Dan killed.
Dan killed
Got
a
that sword right through it.
Yeah.
It's a ginger giant.
Now, you might ask, like, oh, did Dan kill it a while ago and now it's just a skeleton? No, he had he had it bleached. Like, he had it dipped in acid, like they do with hobos that they put in classrooms.
Yeah. Just put up a fight. But Dan got him with a sword. So, good job. Right through the breastplate.
Should be good.
Yeah.
Should be fine. Yeah, no, check it out. I worked really hard on the set, and that's why we didn't get rid of it for the Gaza episode.
Yeah, it was probably not in the best taste to have a set littered with bones.
But I didn't wear my Crusader outfit, so that
we
balances
talked about
out.
that.
We did veto that in the group chat. Yeah. Dan actually called himself before he even got to the veto. But
yeah, called myself out.
Yeah. It was like,
Would
should I
have
wear
been-
this? Should I wear this? It's like,
Would have been appropriate.
Although, you know what, though? Fuck that, because, like, maybe he should have worn it, because no one would have been mad if he dressed like a Mongolian or a Roman.
Or Alexander the Great.
Yeah. Like, if you
Or
were
a Babylonian, whatever they look like.
Whatever that even.
Yeah, people would have lost it if I wore my yarmulke that day, though.
Goddamn right.
Well, college campuses, yeah.
Wait, what?
If you're on a college campus, yeah.
Can't wear a yarmulke?
Probably not.
Probably not.
It's probably on site.
Oh, man. That's dumb. The hat's not, it's not a fun hat to wear.
The
They fall
yarmulke?
off,
Yeah, well, the people don't realize that, like, when you see it up close, they've almost always got, like, a little clip on it.
Doesn't seem sensible.
How do you wear one if you're bald?
I Dude, it's probably
You
easier.
only
Tape.
wear it when you're bald.
Yeah.
Tape?
To cover up that little spot in the back of your head.
Yeah.
Clutch. I've only had the small ones, and I never had a clip. I was never rocking a clip, and that shit would fall off.
Do you think guys
all
with
the time.
classic male pattern baldness are like the yarmulke stays on during sex?
Yeah, I think so. Does the yarmulke stay on there?
You're asking the wrong Jew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever have like one of those stupid like customized yarmulke, like a baseball yarmulke,
No,
like a
no,
football
no.
yarmulke?
I got a.
I would always see those and be like, "It's what do you?" I don't ask for like a Ninja Turtles communion wafer. Just fucking take.
It's actually that'd be sweet. But does it turn into Donatello though when you put it in your mouth? With
the wrong turtle meat at that point.
It's just turtle wafer. No, I just rocked a little black one. Never.
Yeah.
I just kept it
Classic.
classy. Yeah.
Classic.
Well, just like that episode about Gaza, we're going to go back to ancient history. 1912.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ancient
To be
history
fair,
to me.
1912 was technically covered in that Gaza episode. We went up to the beginning of World War I.
Yeah, but we kind of glossed over the 1900s.
We left it out.
Yeah.
I only went up to I cut it off at the British
Right.
because that really gets into the modern part, and that's a whole other episode.
That we didn't want to handle or touch.
Exactly. We wanted all the SEO without any of the controversy.
Yes.
That's right.
We wanted to say an hour of things without saying anything.
Yes.
Yeah. We really needed to play that one safe.
Yeah. Anyway, though, we're not talking about that episode.
No, we're going to talk about this episode. We're going to play it real safe, right down the line for Halloween Horror Nights. We're talking about a gruesome axe murder of 8 people.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
A lot of axe murders, by the way. You did an episode, I believe, a couple of years ago about a German axe murder
The
family.
Hinterkaifeck.
Axe murders were bucking back then.
This is who's the chick? She did the axe.
Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, Lizzie Borden did the axe murders as well.
I don't know if Lizzie Borden did those axe murders, dude.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
If she didn't.
Well, this specific incident we're going to talk about is still unsolved to this day.
You think you'll ever catch the guy?
Well, we're going to do it today. We're going to solve this mystery today.
I
Finally.
think it's just a drifter. I think it's a nameless drifter.
There were a lot more of them back
Don't
then, too.
spoil the episode.
I'm just
But
saying.
I like your shot.
Yeah.
I like that you're calling it.
I think it's the baby.
That man got right back into a train car, rode the rails.
There is a hobo.
Yeah, it's got to be a hobo, man.
Rob, for all of you that are new to the show, licks the boots of any empire and just dunks on poor people whenever
Hates
he
the
can.
poors.
Hates poor people.
So, of course, we're talking about the famous Villisca Axe Murders in Iowa.
Yeah. No, I mean, I can imagine one winter in Iowa would make me want to murder people. So
Yes. Yeah, it's not all Field of Dreams.
it's just flat with corn and hate.
And like the thing about a place like Iowa or where I went to school in mid-Missouri or like Oklahoma or Kansas is in the winter, there's nothing to stop the wind.
No.
I'm sorry, I'm retarded. Villisca, Iowa.
What'd you call it, Villisca?
I think I said Villisca.
I didn't.
I wouldn't have
I
caught
heard
that.
it and just was like, I'm not doing that.
Are you familiar with Villisca, Iowa?
No, but I know it's like a 2L ISCA.
Anyway,
I think we're getting picky now.
yeah, talking about calling myself out.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Dan.
But like
Thank you.
Good
the
job,
winters are so brutal. Like it's literally just like you have nowhere to hide from it.
Yeah. No, that's your choice.
Well, this happened in June, Rob,
Perfect.
so didn't have to worry about the winter. June 9th, 1912 to be exact.
The fireflies were out. And there was a humming in the summer night air.
Well, there's just a random Savannah man.
Yeah.
in
That's
Iowa.
the drifter,
Yeah,
actually.
he's a very eloquent
As I
hobo
dragged my axe through the cornfield,
scraping on the dirt road.
sucking on a can of beans.
So Villisca, Iowa is located roughly about 100 miles southwest of Des Moines.
Middle of fucking nowhere.
I
Yeah.
was about to say, I don't know any other city in Iowa other than Grand Rapids and Des Moines. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I said, there were 8 victims, including 6 children.
Yep. Killed a bunch of kids.
And they all had
as violently as a child could die.
yeah, they all
other
had
than-
severe head wounds from an axe.
Other than lighting a child on fire, I cannot think of a more violent way for a child to die.
He was taking full swings.
Yeah. You hope,
Or she.
honestly.
Yeah.
Well, Atlantic.
Oh, wait, I did an axe murder episode too. I'm sorry. We forgot who killed children. Hannah Dustin.
Hannah Dustin killed all the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was self-defense.
Revenge.
A little
Rightful
A, little B.
revenge.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
the most rightful revenge
Well,
I've
her
ever heard
baby
of.
got smashed against a tree.
yeah, she witnessed horrors unspeakable.
What do you think decolonization was going to look like? Smash his baby against a tree. I mean, fair enough, but if that's what decolonization is going to look like, I don't think you're going to like what recolonization looks like.
It's not going to be fun. History's a bloody
It's
mess.
not ever fun.
Yeah.
A lengthy investigation yielded several suspects, one of whom was tried twice. The first trial ended in a hung jury, and the second ended in an acquittal.
How do you get tried twice for the same thing?
I thought there were laws against that.
yeah.
No,
Must be different.
no, not if the jury can't come to a decision.
So they'll just redo it?
Yeah.
So you can get double jeopardy if you get hung?
They just have to, it's like if there's a mistrial.
It's just a redo?
Yeah.
Okay.
Huh. Doesn't it normally, like, just not happen the second time, though? Is that pretty rare?
No. Danny Masterson just got, his first one was a mistrial.
Oh, really?
They couldn't, the jury, most of the jury didn't want to convict, and the judge threw it out and and retried it.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
The poor family that got murdered was the Moore family, which consisted of parents Joe and Sarah. Joe's 43, Sarah's 39. They have 4 children of their own: Herman Montgomery, Mary Catherine, Arthur Boyd, and Paul Vernon.
Okay.
And I believe there were, 2 unfortunate slumber partiers?
Yep.
Never. Oh, God, I'd be so fucking mad if I got killed at someone else's house.
Yep. Mary Catherine Moore invited Ina May and Lena Gertrude Stillinger. May's 8, Stillinger is 12, to spend the night at the Moore residence. After a nice, fun evening at a Presbyterian church.
See, before you could watch scary movies at a slumber party, you just lived out the scary movie
Yeah.
at your slumber party.
Well, I mean, you had to. That's where all the scary movies came from.
Right.
If this didn't happen, you wouldn't have scary movies.
So after their church program ended at 9:30 p.m.,
Jesus.
the Moores
Was
and
it like
the
a-
Stillinger sister walked to the Moores house between anywhere from 9:45 to 10 p.m.
Was it a church service or like a church get together?
It was like a children's day program.
Yeah. So it was like it wasn't like
It wasn't like service that way.
Right.
Okay.
No, but they for sure were still doing God stuff.
Oh, I mean, well, yeah, it's
You ever
true.
go to like CCD or like after school care with like a religious lean to it?
no.
I'd imagine it's like that.
Yeah, I actually did go to a Baptist summer camp one time. They just were really well reviewed, I guess,
Yeah.
or whatever in Florida. And like, I don't remember anything churchy, but we watched a fuck ton of VeggieTales.
Oh, we Rory's first daycare was at a Baptist church. It was like 2 days a week, and they were great. All the people were great and everything like that. But like everything, all the artwork he would bring home would have like a little Bible verse on it. Mm-hmm. Although it was like the most innocuous Bible verse. It was like Jesus loved his friends or whatever. You know what I mean? I remember one of our friends was like, "What's with all the Bible-y stuff on your fridge?" Because we put the artwork on the fridge, and I was like, I don't think it's really problematic Bible verses.
No.
Name names. Which friend?
Who?
But
I have
it
a
was
guess.
just like the most innocuous shit. But one time I dropped Rory off and all the kids were crying, and she was singing. One of the teachers was like singing a song, but it was like Jesus loves me, this I know. Kids kept crying.
Yeah.
Whatever. But
I remember as a child going to like a summer camp at my Catholic school for like a week. We made Eucharist, homemade.
You made them?
We made Eucharist.
You made the waffle?
I did.
The wafer?
And we watched a bunch of VeggieTales.
Wish
That's
it was
really
a
it.
Lot of VeggieTales.
I
so much
never
VeggieTales.
in my life watched VeggieTales. I did not go to a non-religious school until I was 18 years old.
Dude, VeggieTales is trash.
Yeah, it's stupid. I honestly, every time I am around non-Catholic shit, like other Christian religions, so religious centric. Whereas like when I was in like, I never remember even talking about Jesus in like my Catholic preschool.
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I remember a nun telling me I was going to hell because I was going to public high school.
Oh, well, that's accurate.
Yeah. Oh, you don't want to give your money to the church? Fine. Go get your hell education.
This goes down the night of June 9th. The next day, Mary Peckham, the Moore's neighbor, became concerned after she noticed the family had not come out to do their morning chores.
Moors aren't choring today.
That's concerning. It's more like it, but she's more like it's an HOA situation.
It's like Moors grass is a 1/4 inch too high today. Yeah.
He didn't have his wife and daughters up working at 6 a.m. That's a fine.
Josiah. So, she knocked on the Moore's door. Nobody answered. Peckham let the Moore's chickens out and called Ross Moore, Josiah's brother. Like Peckham, Moore received no response when he knocked on the door and unlocked the door himself with a copy of his house key.
Interesting. I'm taking note of that.
What, his fucking brother has a key to the house?
Yes.
Okay.
Got to know who has access to the house in an investigation.
He first opened the guest room where he found Ina and Lena's bodies on the bed.
Okay.
Just smashed to shit, I imagine.
I guess they weren't alive.
No. So Moore immediately told Peckham to call Henry Hank Horton, the primary peace officer of the region, who arrived shortly thereafter. Horton's search of the house revealed that the entire Moore family and the 2 Stillinger girls had been bludgeoned to death.
When you say call, are they on phones at this point? Or did she have to go just run off and
Call
find them?
for him.
1912.
You get up on a hill.
Yeah, I don't really.
I mean, the phone was
Peace
invented.
officer.
The phone was invented. I'm just wondering if this part of the country
Iowa, middle of Iowa.
was rolling with
I
phones.
can't imagine there's a lot of phone lines back then, but it's not. I don't think it matters either way.
I'm just curious.
It's kind of a funny visual if she had to, like, run to
Right.
town.
Call for him. It's like great.
Horton!
It'd be funny if she was just like, "Oh my God, what? Is something wrong? I'll run right away." And he's just like, "You can take your time.
Take your time.
It's
Yeah.
You can walk.
Or she ran there and then she's out of breath trying to tell the officer what happened, but she's like,
Spit it out, lady.
the girls,
all dead." He's like, "All right, well, we'll walk back."
Chill.
Yeah, it'd be funny to just be like, "How fast do you need me to go?" Like is it like, is anyone in trouble immediately, or is it just like someone needs to see this in the next 2 hours?
The 2 hours. Yeah.
So the murder weapon, an axe belonging to Josiah, was found in the guest room where the Stillinger girls were found. Doctors concluded that the murders had taken place between midnight and 5 a.m. They found 2 spent cigarettes in the attic,
Oh, they had someone living up there.
suggesting that the killer or killers patiently waited in the attic until the Moore family and the Stillinger guests were asleep.
You think they're just hanging out down there the night of? Like, man, who's ripping heaters out here? Like,
Yeah. Well, unless Papa Moore was ripping a pipe all night or something.
true, but I mean, you think like the kids smoking in their rooms right now? Like,
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's a sleepover, honey. Let the girls smoke their cigarettes.
yeah, they've got to grow up sometime.
What? I have a second. So I still think it's a drifter. However, I do have a second opinion, like a backup. Murder suicide. The father did it.
He axed himself to death at the
Yeah.
end. Gosh, just looking down a fucking axe and throwing it at your face.
Funny you say that because Josiah received more blows from the axe than any other victim.
So I don't think it was him.
A lot of self-loathing, actually. It took more time. You know
It took
what I
a
mean?
lot of time to
Yeah.
hit himself. Yeah, man.
That's why I don't know if I've said this on air, but that's why I said this once. Like the reason there's almost no suicides with like rifles and shotguns is because with a handgun you can just put it to the side. You don't even see it. You just pick it up and do it. But with a rifle or something, you're putting it in your mouth, putting your toe on the trigger, and at some point you're like, oh, whoa,
This is a lot of work.
and you're just like looking down the barrel, like, oh boy. Oh, man, that's a big gun.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm putting it in my mouth. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've done this before.
Nah,
Okay.
not to myself.
What?
Yeah, he actually murdered Kurt Cobain.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, Kurt.
It's me and Courtney Love.
Huh.
Here's all the heroin.
Where were you that night?
1994. Who knows, man? Probably University City, Missouri.
Like 8? Yeah. Just 8-year-old Rob and a very adult Courtney Love just conspiring in an attic.
Look,
in
It kind of checks out.
garden house.
if anyone from any 90s rock star was going to molest a kid, it's Courtney Love.
Yeah, in like a Lena Dunham kind of way.
What?
Do you not? Never mind. I'm not even going to go into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, where she diddled her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
But they were both kids, but then she wrote about
But then
it.
she put it in her book. I feel like
I
you
think-
didn't have to report it on
I'm not
yourself,
defending
Lena.
that either.
No.
I'm just coming out in favor of every celebrity rapist right now.
It's kind of fucked up.
Is there something with Amy Schumer?
What?
Is there something with Amy Schumer, too?
She's in Hamas.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
No, she's Jewish.
I know. It's what's fucked up.
That's crazy.
Messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most self-loathing. Jew.
That was a South Park episode, though. It's like
We'll go past
with the
it.
one who fucking worshipped the guy from Purim,
Oh, yeah.
Haman. They're like,
Haman,
what
yeah.
sect are you of Judaism? Because they're all like, I'm this or that. He's like, the anti-Semitic sect.
Yeah.
So the killer or killers began in the master bedroom where Josiah and Sarah Moore were sleeping. Josiah, like I said, received more blows to the face than any other victim. And he had been cut to such an extent that his eyes were missing.
Ooh. Where'd they go?
In.
Oh, no.
Clever.
It's a good-
On his
Although
part.
he only used the blade against Josiah and Sarah.
Would he use the handle?
The blunt end.
Or the hammer end, yes.
Yeah.
For the rest of the victims. So everybody else was bludgeoned to death while the parents were cut to death.
Was the axe? I mean, look, at some point, it's gonna dull a little bit, right?
It's going to dull, but I think it's the efficiency of killing the adults first.
Yeah, yeah,
making sure you don't have someone that can stop
You have to make sure the adults are done.
Also, apparently they were all asleep.
That's one of the things, like, with these kind of murders where I'm just like, no one's waking up.
Small house.
No one's waking up.
I've looked at it. It's a tiny house. You would hear it.
Yeah.
You would hear someone getting axed to death.
I mean,
Well, the other two, because like the wife is right next to him,
Yeah.
so she's gonna wake up immediately at the.
the squish.
Yeah. You're not gonna wake up.
I mean,
My wife would wake up immediately. My wife wakes up when I just like roll over.
yeah.
So parents get it first. They then move on and kill Herman, Mary Catherine, Arthur, and Paul, bludgeoning them to death. So all the Moors wiped out.
Good job.
They then return to the master bedroom to inflict more blows on the elder Moors.
So this almost seems vendetta-y now. That seems a little personal.
How did they know? What is the forensic situation at this time that they knew he?
0.
Yeah. How do they know he did the others and then went back and? I mean, I guess they're probably good at figuring out like meat cuts.
I'm imagining there's a lot of blood. There's probably like some foot trail too.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah. Or it's gotta imagine they start with cuts, goes to bludgeoning, then maybe more bludgeoning.
No, they bring in like a Benoit Blanc to solve the mystery, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't.
They were murdered by an ex.
Oh.
I got. Wait, hold on. Go ahead. Yeah.
It would seem this drifter would want us to think he's a drifter. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but actually, it was the baby. It's the baby.
Duh baby.
It was the baby. It was the baby. Actually.
Duh baby has killed somebody
Yeah.
in a Walmart.
With a gun.
Yet didn't get canceled for that.
No.
Got canceled for saying a hard F.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta drop someone in a Walmart. Dude.
I don't think he said a hard F. I think he was just talking about how like gay people get AIDS all the time.
Probably
on
that,
stage.
yeah.
He was like, "Gotta be watching out. Can't be having gay sex because you'll get AIDS." He was just like, it was like on his like 8th blunt during a concert. And again, that people were like, "You bastard,
You monster.
Meanwhile, he's like literally taking a life and raps about it. He's like, I would do it again."
Oh, you silly da baby.
Yeah. What are you even trying to cancel a murderer for?
Yeah.
If you don't get canceled for murder,
Can't do anything.
right?
You can't touch me.
Now I'm gonna dance.
So he then goes downstairs to the guest bedroom, killing Ina and Lena. He then leaves a 4-pound slab of bacon taken out of the icebox and puts it next to the axe. I don't know if this is symbolic for something.
You would
It's his
think,
calling
right?
card.
Yeah.
He's the 4-pound slab of bacon axe murderer.
He actually checks the icebox, make sure he has bacon.
Yeah. Right.
He was up there for weeks until he knew they bought bacon.
Oh, maybe he was Jewish. He was like, knew it.
Also, 4 pounds of bacon is
That's a lot of
bacon.
Well, you got 6 kids or 4 kids.
4 kids and 2 adults.
I mean, that's still a lot of bacon.
It's a lot of bacon.
Yeah. What are you doing with all that bacon?
After the search, the reason it's so hard to fucking find who committed this murder.
Because it's 1912.
They're in the middle of nowhere.
Well, they just let the town in and kind of investigate themselves, completely contaminating the weapon.
Good job.
People were just picking up the axe.
Oh, heavy.
What is there to contaminate?
Well,
Did
they had
fingerprinting doesn't even exist yet,
No,
does it?
it does.
Oh, it does? Okay.
They have fingerprints.
They have fingerprinting, but like,
But there's not much of a database.
oh, but I mean, like, there is no. That's it. It's your fingerprinting.
Right.
Maybe I don't even know if they have blood splatter yet, but yeah, like they didn't start using like DNA or anything until I think like the late 80s.
No. I mean, yeah, maybe it started in the late 80s, but that was a big plot point. Well, I assume it was a big thing in the actual trial too, but it was a big plot point in the O.J. Simpson trial is that there was a fair amount of DNA evidence that he did it, but DNA evidence was so new
Oh, it couldn't
that
be
the
considered.
jury was kind of like, I don't know about this sciencey stuff.
What?
Yeah,
Like,
but there was anyway, one of the plot points in the one with Cuba Gooding Jr. and that really great FX series, was that after the DNA evidence came out, all of OJ's friends except for Robert Kardashian stopped like showing up to support him, and even Robert Kardashian kind of figured at this point because they were like a little more sophisticated than the average person. They're all really wealthy and stuff. And they once they saw that like the science was backing up, the DNA evidence was backing up that he did it, they just were like, oh, okay, well, I can't.
They
keep
probably
showing
took
up
2 seconds to read about it.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, huh. Yeah,
but
I probably did it.
It was still so new that the jury wasn't into it, and the prosecution, the defense was able to make a meal out of it to make it like able to kind of undercut it the way the defense team would not be able to do that now.
You know what's crazy is like, especially with stuff like that, the polygraph used to be so much more of they lied on a polygraph,
Right.
and it's like now it's like you get that shit thrown out.
I mean, it's meaningless.
It's dude, the guy's nervous. Like
You might as well just say you read his horoscope.
yeah, pretty much. It's like he clenched his butt at the wrong time and he
Right.
figured it out. Like good job.
Listen, they might nail with the horoscope.
They might
It's so broad that
just bring in the right crystals.
You're an Aries, huh? What day was the murder? Ooh, you had a lot of violent, passionate anger on June 9th, bro.
Neptune was in a certain place in the sky that would preclude you to bludgeon 8 children to death with an axe.
I'm surprised you didn't use a trident.
So investigators believe that all the victims except Lena were asleep when murdered. They thought that she was awakened and tried to fight back as she was found with a defensive wound on her arm. So
Okay.
she actually defended herself.
Well, kind of.
Kind of.
I mean,
She
there's only so much you can do.
blocked. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not really-
she's...
It's like putting your hand in front of a gun. You know?
Right.
It's like, oh, well,
Which they find a lot.
yeah.
She is 12, so...
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
They also believed at first that she might have been sexually molested as her nightgown was pushed up and there was no undergarments underneath. But this was later proven false.
Few.
Granted, like if somebody actually did try to rape her, I feel like that'd be an easier way to solve it.
What? If someone raped her?
Mm-hmm.
In 1912?
If they have fingerprints, I feel like you could easily find something.
I guess, but you're not going to match it to anyone. Yeah, this smells like that drifter's sperm. The bloodhounds. Like he comes.
Bring in the sperm hounds.
Yeah, he comes in an old bucket, and then the hounds smell her, and then smell what's in the bucket.
Yeah, I don't. This is.
That's it. That is as much as they can test semen in 1912. The hound test.
Yeah. The dog knows it smells like cum.
So, over time, many possible suspects emerged. Josiah Moore worked for a man by the name of Frank Jones at the Jones store for several years until he opened his own competitive company in 1908. Jones also held a state Senate seat at the time and was extremely upset that Josiah Moore had left his employment and took his biggest client, John Deere, away.
Oh.
Now, I had read that this person actually screamed at him, "I'll kill you with an axe, you pig."
You dropped the pig in there?
But I do still think it was a drifter.
Bacon connection.
Yeah, I made that all up. That's
Oh. Damn. Got me
Yeah, I was
good.
like, I didn't see that, but sounds good.
That's open and shut.
What a thing to yell at someone. "I'll kill you with an axe, you pig."
He spelled pig with the bacon on the floor of the home.
There were also rumors that Josiah Moore had an affair with Jones's daughter-in-law, Donna.
Ooh.
Hold on, daughter-in-law?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's cucking his son.
Yeah, that would be it.
So they don't believe Frank at first would have committed the murder himself, but hired
like
hired somebody to do it.
a hit, right?
Frank's not living in an attic for a state senator is not holing up in an attic with a pack of smokes.
Yeah. No.
The drifter he hired to do it might.
Hired gun or hired axe, rather, I guess, in this situation
Hired axe.
is definitely just hanging out ripping heaters. Like
Yeah.
that's such a hitman move. Just like gonna rip heaters
Enter
over here.
William Mansfield of Blue Island, Illinois. He was the prime suspect at first of the Burns Detective Agency in Kansas City and Detective James Newton Wilkerson. Mansfield was also known as George Worley and Jack Turnbull.
Okay, so 2 other identities for this guy. Not a good start.
I feel like it is typically usually the first or second person that is suspected.
Yeah? You think that? Why?
It just is. I don't know. Like people
TV?
closest to like I mean I don't know. This detective knew what he was doing.
According
He's
to
a pro.
Wilkerson, Mansfield was a cocaine fiend and axe-rage psychopath.
I went over to his house the other day, and he was just blowing lines and swinging an axe around.
That explains the cigarettes. Man, that's hilarious that there's just a hitman in their attic blasting off and ripping heaters, just waiting to get a hold of the axe.
Just give me that.
Where'd they keep the axe, by the way? Because he would have had to go probably all the way downstairs, maybe even outside, grab the axe, and then go back upstairs and start wailing on the mom and dad.
Well, he got the axe. It's Josiah's axe.
I know.
So he was waiting in the attic before they got there.
I know,
With
but
the
did he
axe.
take the axe with him?
Probably.
Okay.
He probably got the axe before they got back.
But, I mean, wouldn't they maybe notice if the axe was gone if they keep it in a certain place?
What do you think? He chops wood at night?
No, it probably was in like the shed or something.
Okay, well, that's what I'm wondering. That's why I'm asking where the axe was kept.
Sounds like you're victim blaming here.
I am victim blaming.
Yeah. Why didn't they notice the axe missing?
Don't start your own business.
You think his first thought when he woke up to the axe being swung in his face, like, oh, there it is. Oh, that's where I left it.
Wilkerson believed Mansfield was responsible for the axe murders of his wife, infant child, father-in-law, and mother-in-law in Blue Island, Illinois on July 5th, 1914.
Oh, so he had other people that were axe murdered.
2 years after this.
Huh.
The axe murders committed in Kansas 4 days before Villisca murders and the murders of Jenny Peterson and Jenny Miller in Aurora, Colorado. So this guy started connecting dots and saw a lot of similarities between all the different murders.
So we might have a serial axe
Isn't this
murderer.
the drifter? Or is this the hitman?
This is the hitman.
Okay. I think it's a little bit of A, a little bit of B.
Wilkerson managed to convince a grand jury to open an investigation in 1916, and Mansfield was arrested and brought to Montgomery County from Kansas City. Payroll records, however, provided the alibi and placed Mansfield in Illinois at the time.
What do you, he just someone noted
Working
that-
for who?
Yeah.
He just had a payroll stub. It's just like, hey, look, I was in fucking Illinois at the time.
Doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't.
Doesn't mean
Super
shit.
doesn't.
Like you can make a check.
God, it's so easy to get away with murder back then.
It's everything, really.
Everything.
Yeah.
Well, coke was legal, so you don't
He's
even
a
need to
coke
get away with
fiend.
that.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, that's weird, but not
Yeah.
illegal.
He was released for lack of evidence and later won a lawsuit he brought against Wilkerson and awarded $2,225 for
Vindictive son of a bitch. This guy was on he's just heat checking at that point.
When he was awarded, he's like, that's more than double what I made for the hit.
for defamation. He just gets paid.
He's getting paid twice for the same murder.
Look, I assume his name was all over the papers for that trial. So.
Oh, definitely.
Wilkerson believed that the pressure from Jones resulted not only in Mansfield's release, but also in the subsequent arrest and trial of the next suspect. Next up, we got Reverend Kelly.
What?
The Presbyterian
He's
Reverend?
He's a traveling preacher.
Okay.
Kelly and his wife settled in Macedonia, Iowa in 1912 after several years of preaching throughout the Midwest. In 1917, Kelly was arrested and charged with the murder of one of the victims of the Axe Murders.
Just one?
Just one.
It'd be funny if he did just do one. Like, he walks in and, like, they both just see each other. He's like, I'm here for the girl that's sleeping over. And he's like, okay, I'm here for the family.
Yeah. Well, there's one extra.
Yeah.
I'll take her.
You want me to?
Yeah.
It's a BOGO.
It's like, hey, you axe murdering in here? I've been dying to get that one.
God damn.
Like your work, man.
Kelly was invited to attend the Children's Day exercises at the Presbyterian Church on June 9th, 1912. His presence in Villisca on the night of the murders and his subsequent departure in the early morning hours on June 10th made him a prime suspect because, I don't know, it seems like he's only been here for a day and then he left.
And never trust a drifter.
Yeah. Traveling people don't
Never
have roots.
trust. Honestly, though, it is almost inherent in society. I wonder if, let's get deep for a second here.
Okay.
I wonder if that is our pastoralist DNA or society situation. We don't
versus
trust
the
nomads. We don't
yeah.
trust herders and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because think about, like, any traveling person is immediately not trusted. "Quote unquote" drifter, a nomad, like in that movie that came out like a year or two ago with that actress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Nomad.
I think it is called Nomad.
Yeah.
It was
Although in Viking culture, sometimes they considered drifters that come into their like little fishing villages and everything, kind of like a physical form of gods.
Okay, well, so
'cause
there's the opposite of that.
They thought like Odin or Thor would just take human form and
show up
as a drifter and fuck their wives.
Imagine you're just, man, what a great time to be a hobo.
Right?
Time and place.
Oh, hey,
But
guys.
There's also, like,
There's
gypsies,
ladies.
carnies.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's our little, like,
It's got to be.
farming DNA.
Well, think about it just from like a lizard brain perspective. It's like, all right, there's finite resources, new person here. What do they want?
Right.
Like, how do we have to provide for them? How, can they provide for themselves? Are they going to take from us? Like,
And
Yeah.
they're going to eat before they even work.
And you like to think somebody you live amongst isn't capable of something this horrific.
right. Of course. It's convenient, too, to blame
an
drifter.
outsider.
Yeah, because it's like your social fabric gets fucked otherwise.
So Kelly's first trial resulted in a hung jury, like I said, and he was finally acquitted on the second.
I don't think he did it.
He didn't do it.
I don't think so either.
He's out for me.
It's just an odd one, too. It's like
Yeah.
we're only charging him with one of these.
I think it was the guy that was in town for all those other axe murders.
The cocaine fiend axe swinger?
Yeah, the coke addict.
The one that has other charges of, or I guess a conviction rather.
Here, wait,
Probably
wait.
always needs money for coke.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things in Deadwood was, and that's around the same time, 30 years apart, how Al Swearingen would be like, you want money or you want dope, like for payment of his criminals that he would
Yeah.
have. You mean to pay you in money or dope or pussy?
Yeah.
I would have been like, thirds. Give it to me in thirds.
Yeah. One of each?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, all the money's going to go on the other two.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess just give me the money and I'll figure out what I want to pay for.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next suspect. Maybe you'll change your mind.
Okay.
Henry Moore, no relation to Joe Moore, so no relation to his family, was suspected of this and potentially being a serial killer responsible of like a dozen other axe murders.
God damn.
A lot of axe murder in this time.
So Henry Moore was actually convicted of the murders of his mother and maternal grandmother in Columbia, Missouri.
Oh.
Hey, let's go.
Shout out Como.
Wait, I got to look this guy up real quick.
You know, it's interesting that they're like, oh, it's very similar. It's like, is there like a less violent way to kill someone with an axe?
Yeah,
I
is
guess-
there like, you know,
one slice on that one.
different
That's-
kind of strokes you're taking with the paintbrush?
Yeah, it's like this guy's got like some panache. You know, he like takes a clean swing. Everyone else messy. This guy's a surgeon with the axe, you know?
Yeah, you don't want to be like a fucking brute.
No, that's ugh.
You want to be an artiste.
Just so gauche to swing as hard as you can.
Henry Moore served 36 years of a life sentence before being paroled by the governor of Missouri on December 2nd, 1949 for the murder of his mom.
What? Who was the governor?
And grandmother. I don't know. This seems
It
like
was
you
Jones.
seems like you should have to apologize for that.
Yeah, that's
What did
on
I
you.
do?
Those are your people.
Yeah.
They're just
Oh
letting
my-
a murderer out? A man that murdered his mom and grandmother?
Yeah, this is what he looked like.
He looks like a guy that would do it.
He's got decent hair.
What
He has
haircut
a
is
great head of
insane.
hair. Yeah,
The
he.
haircut's fucking bananas. I don't know what y'all are talking about. I mean, he has a lot of it. It's just like, what is that style?
So apparently, he says on his Wikipedia, although described as a friendly-looking man, he had a morbid habit of visit. This is early life, by the way. Early life and first imprisonment.
Okay.
Had a morbid habit of visiting various morgues in St. Louis with the purpose of looking at the bodies. He also collected newspaper scraps from famous criminal cases. Was this in your outline? Mm-hmm. Okay. God damn.
Yeah. Hey, what do you want here? I just want to look at the bodies. I won't touch them or nothing. All right.
So he actually ends up serving until, I believe, 1956. But Henry Moore was 82 years old, and they let him out, and he lived out the rest of his life, apparently at the Salvation Army Center in St. Louis.
I know exactly where that is.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So they could never connect him to this murder, but they were like, well, we got him for one.
At a certain
We put him away long enough that he's not going to do it.
He's 82.
Yep. So what do you guys think of him as a potential suspect?
I mean,
Pretty good. Pretty driftery.
I think regardless of if he did this one, God, he hangs out at the morgue. It's not a good look, my guy.
Next up, we probably have the leader in the clubhouse in Rob's mind.
I don't know. This guy's literally a fucking drifter right here. He just wanders around.
Well, no, this is literally a traveling hobo.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Andy Sawyer.
Andy Sawyer.
Mr. Sawyer was clean-shaven and wearing a brown suit when he arrived. Classier homeless people back then.
Yeah, it's probably a suit with some holes in it and some wear, but they're still wearing a suit.
Shoes were covered in mud. Pants were nearly wet to the knees.
Ooh. What? Wet to the knees.
Yeah.
Was he walking around in ponds?
I don't know.
This guy came from a fucking bog? Like, what's he doing?
Wandered out of the swamp.
Yeah.
Thirsty for blood.
Got my swamp suit on today.
He asked for employment in town, and Mr. Dyer, a local farmer, needed an extra man and gave him a spot. Mr. Dyer testified that later Mr. Sawyer purchased a newspaper, which he went off to read by himself. The newspaper carried a front page account of the murders, and according to Dyer, Sawyer was much interested in it.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's a fault. Or
No,
was
I think
he-
it's funny
those
to
were-
just like list the reasons people were suspicious.
He read that horrible
He was way
news
too
story.
into it.
He was into
way
Like,
too
was
into
he
it.
was he going like, ha 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 ha?
You guys see this? You guys see this?
That guy must have been a genius.
Yeah.
That guy must have been so cool.
I don't know, man. He sounded like handsome.
And rich.
Dyer's crew complained that Sawyer slept with his clothes on and was anxious to be by himself.
Ready to go at any time, I guess.
Yes. They were also uneasy about the fact that Sawyer slept with his axe and often
Fair.
that's
Fair.
a
I'd
little-
be uneasy about that
Well,
as well.
the newspaper, not a hard sell, but the guy that literally sleeps with an axe might be a little off.
and often talked about the murders and whether or not a killer had been apprehended.
Has anyone been caught yet? Okay.
Did you hear about that?
Do you remember that really hot killer with the axe? Has anyone been taken down for that yet?
I was like, what are you talking? I mean, there was the killer. I don't think anyone said he was handsome. No, I heard
No,
he was
just think about it.
fucking hot.
He's
I heard he was
definitely
like it was like crazy how handsome he was.
Oh, like I mean, people were kind of like wishing they got killed by him. 'Cause he
Are
was
you
so hot.
Trying to look up what he looks like.
Well, there's my favorite like portrayal of the axe murderer. I'll just try to find it. I'm listening, but it's just there's a funny portrayal of him that I just like to imagine as him, and that's why I always say it's a drifter. Because as soon as I saw this picture for the first time years ago, I was like, "Yep, that checks out."
Sometimes, like, have you actually heard about this? Like, there's a look to pedophiles. Like there's an actual facial look.
Really?
Like they're like you know how like sometimes you're like, man, that guy looks like a pedophile. It's like there's
You're right.
actually like a vibe. They're like when you see it, it's not like a confirmation bias thing. They're like, no, like I don't know if they can't like use it to obviously predict anything. There's just weird looking people sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I gotta look into that. I'll figure it out later.
All right, here it is. This always cracks me up. I'm like, yeah, Drifter, sure.
Beetlejuice? What is that?
That's a fucking clown.
Yeah, it's basically like a clown man. It's just like an
Overalls.
old crazy hobo who's just like, it looks like he crawled out of hell.
I mean, that doesn't get worse than that.
No.
Sawyer apparently told Dyer personally that he had actually been in town that Sunday night and heard of the murders and was afraid he may be a suspect, which is why he left.
He just keeps like doubling down. Like, how do you even know the killer was hot? Oh, I was in town that night.
I didn't see him.
And I'm hot. Yeah. And I was just worried about how, like, because I'm hot and I'm not from there, and I bet, like, that guy wasn't from there, and I'd heard that he's hot and wasn't from there.
Yeah, but, like, I sleep with my ex. I like the story a lot.
Yeah,
I know
but
the guy's hot.
That's how you know I didn't do it, because I was asleep when it happened, and I was asleep with my ex.
Yeah.
So how could I have done it if I was asleep with my ex?
Weirdly enough, Sawyer's axe could not be found the day after the murder.
So Dyer was suspicious and turned him over to the sheriff. He was actually one of the first suspects. So June 18th, 1912 is so same year.
Right.
Prior to the sheriff arriving, Dyer testified that he walked up behind Sawyer, and Sawyer was rubbing his head with both hands, and all of a sudden jumped up and said to himself, "I will cut your goddamn heads off." At the same time, he made striking motions with the axe and began hitting the piles in front of him.
Weird.
I think it was the Drifter.
I don't know. It's not certain.
There's so many good suspects.
Yeah, there's a lot of good suspects, really. It's too many. It muddies the waters.
Yeah.
Dyer's son, J.R., also testified that one day as the crew drove through Villisca, Sawyer told him he would show where the man was who killed the Moore family got out of the town. He said the man did a good job jumping over a manure box, which he pointed out.
Okay,
What?
Okay.
What?
Like, this is alarm bells now. Like, now you're getting
Just
details.
knows everything.
I bet you what he did. This is a good job here, what he
Yeah.
did. He hopped over that shit
how you
box
know.
out there. Yeah. I mean, brilliant, really.
Fucking knows that.
Okay, yeah, it's him.
It's the Drifter.
It's him now. When you're getting like that.
He then pointed out 1.5 blocks away where
exactly what it is.
where the murderer would have crossed the railroad track and where the footprints in the soggy ground north of the embankment would be. He then said, "Look on the other side of the car," and he would show me an old tree where he said the murderer stepped into the creek.
And this is the gentleman that had the wet pants and the muddy shoes?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all circumstantial, unfortunately, but
He's like, and if you see over there, that tree stump, that is actually where the murderer sat down to eat his salami sandwich. He could only find regular yellow mustard to put on the sandwich that day. And it was white bread. He likes white bread, but he does also like sourdough, but he likes both. But he was feeling like eating white bread that day.
Yeah.
But he was upset about not having the right mustard. And anyway, that's where that probably happened.
and then he carved his name in the tree. AS could be anything. Could be anything.
So there is a problem with him.
What?
He was arrested the same night in a different town.
Oh, what? No. Damn it. What the fuck?
So he's just a pathological liar.
Or he's just a weirdo.
This is like that show. Fuck, man, what was it called? It was a Stephen King novel on HBO.
Oh, the Outsider?
Yeah. Whatever, yeah, something like that. Where they they knew that he cloned himself off of other people, and they knew they had taken the one guy's DNA, so they just had to keep him in jail overnight.
Yeah.
So that when the police came calling, they'd be like, "Dude, he was fucking here the whole time."
Yeah. Yeah, that I kind of hated that show, but
I enjoyed it. I thought it was
fun.
good.
Jason Bateman getting taken down.
In the first episode.
First episode. It's like, damn it, I wanted more of him.
Yeah, because everyone was all hot on Ozark at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought the show was great.
Yeah, pretty good. That's all right.
We had 2 unrelated confessions.
Oh, of course.
I
though.
hate stolen, whatever the opposite of valor is.
Stolen credit.
Honestly, though, to them it is stolen valor.
Oh, totally. Yes.
So you
To
can
the
just
serial
say
killer?
stolen valor.
Yeah.
Well, and to the people trying to steal the valor.
Yeah. What? It's even worse to me than doing the crime somehow. It's like you just want credit
Yeah.
for this? Just
Check it
do
out, though. These are a little odd. These are a little off.
Of course they are. They're confessions to murders.
One of which is on a deathbed.
Ah.
Okay, that's different.
Okay, so a reverend in Oklahoma, J.J. Burris, declared that a man whose name he was unable to recall, weird, just you're going to give the last rites but not ask for the man's name,
Yeah. That's weird.
had a bedside confession where he said he committed the murders.
Okay, whatever.
The clergyman said the man told him that he was living in town the time of the murder and formerly had been engaged in the blacksmith business there.
Okay, blacksmith, axe.
So they kind of limited it down, and they just couldn't come up with any
You know
potential
who
names.
else was a blacksmith?
Who?
Our boy from Como. I read that on his Wikipedia page. He worked as a blacksmith in Moberly, Missouri.
Oh. But this isn't him.
Different guy.
No, they don't know who it is, right?
Yeah, unnamed. So
Well, the preacher didn't remember.
Yeah.
So could I guess?
no, because homie lived pretty long. He lived till he was 82.
Did he? Well, this the
When did the
confession
preacher
wasn't-
die, though?
This confession was long before that.
So the guy from Columbia, I forget his name, but he died in 1956, I think we said, right?
Yeah. So this was before that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, got it.
Well, no, he got out of jail in 1956. He
And
didn't
he
die.
lived longer.
They don't know when he died,
Okay.
but they do know that he lived at that Salvation Army.
Yeah, in downtown.
Next up, Detroit, March 28th, 1931. George Myers, 48. Prisoner in county jail, awaited sentencing for burglary. He confessed to the axe murder of 6 people, a man, his wife, and his 4 children, in the same town 18 years ago.
Wait, 6
Missing
people.
2. But that actually confirms our theory of two axes.
Buddy axe murders. Yeah, like just people appreciating each other's work, man. Nothing like it.
But his confession was after 5 hours of being grilled by 2 different detectives
Yeah,
You just confess to anything.
who
at
had
that
received
point.
an anonymous tip by letter to check up on the prisoner.
yeah. That's no. That's not it.
They sent his fingerprints to the sheriff of Montgomery County, and they checked to see if it matched with the scene of the crime. They did not.
Yeah,
No
that's
matches. Okay.
So we got 2 potential just lies, just muddying the waters.
Even more, man.
And we have so many suspects, but it gets unsolved. It's a cold case. Today, the Villisca Axe Murder House serves as a paranormal hotel. Of course it does.
Of course it does.
Oh,
Where groups of 6 or fewer can pay $428 a night with kind of very low accommodations. You have to bring your own sleeping bag for the most part.
they don't have a
Yeah.
bed in there.
You just go to see if you can hear the people, hear the family get murdered.
But I don't
Oh,
want to do that.
I don't. One, on the experience, no. 2, on the location, hard no.
A lot of ghost hunters go there. You'll see
course.
this on a lot of those shows, the paranormal
Yeah, but
activity
is
shows.
it even purported to be haunted? That's why we want to go to Gettysburg, because there's
Yeah.
reports of like a million
No, it is.
ghosts.
They
Okay.
report, but they don't really know who it is.
I can't imagine
Whether it's the axe murder or the people who get
I don't.
chopped up.
Not that I know how ghosts work or anything.
Yeah.
But I don't think the axe murderer would be there.
Oh man, can I tell you guys a Halloween thing I watched today, real quick?
Yeah.
That's just as dark as wanting to go hang out with dead children. Fucking in Villisca.
Yeah. What's up?
I turned it on for Rory.
Okay. Great start.
It was like a kids movie.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little kids movie, and it starred Harland. What's his name? The guy who goes to jail in the Dave Chappelle movie.
Half baked.
Half Baked, yeah. The guy who goes to jail in Half Baked. Anyway, it's like a movie with like talking dogs. Okay, the whole plot is like there's humans, but the dogs talk too. And at the beginning, it's like 1937, and this warlock is ritualistically sacrificing puppies to bring a dog from hell.
Sick.
Okay.
I'm into the show already.
And then they all die, but one of the dog's spirit doesn't totally cross over, so the dog's ghost just haunts the house. And he's like trying, like the little boy that owns him is like sad that he dies, but so the dog's ghost just stays there. And then the other dogs that can talk in present day, 2011, go into the house on a dare, and then they see the ghost dog, and then the plot unfolds from there. But it literally, like, the first 10 minutes is like a warlock killing puppies to bring a dog out from hell.
That is, what was that rated?
Gee, it's on Disney Plus.
Yeah, I mean, Cruella de Vil wants to just
skin dogs.
genocide Dalmatians.
That's very different, though. Like, she just wants to make a coat. She don't want to bring a hellhound out.
I think that's worse. It's more flippant, more superficial.
You're probably right.
You know what I mean?
At least that's like an intent.
At least the warlock had like a grand plan.
What was the plan after he gets the dog from hell?
He screamed at everyone in the town when they were trying to arrest him that he was going to make them his slaves.
So use the dog to enslave them.
To enslave a small town somewhere.
Try that in a small town.
Oh, my God.
So rather than ask who today's Hitler is, because we don't really know, we're going to do a whodunit.
Who done
We'll
it?
go, and I need your best Benoit Blanc voice.
Judging by the situation at hand, I would have to think it's none of these suspects. You see, they all have their own faults, but that is because they are human. And a lot of them, it doesn't line up. So, case closed. We don't know. Honestly, I think the thing that makes the most sense to me is possibly Jones hiring a hitman, and
him getting off because Jones has power.
State senator. I think there's a lot of corruption in that world, especially for.
And his alibi's a pay stub.
Yeah, that's weird. Like, that's not good enough.
No.
Someone made a check for me. Like, I just don't even understand how the pay stub works unless they have, like, proof that the guy went in and got it.
Right.
But, yeah, I don't know. I don't buy that. I think Jones might have. I still am thinking Rob was serious now that I think about it, though. And I keep thinking he actually did the thing where it's like, I'll kill you with an axe, pig. Like, I keep thinking he actually did that. I know he didn't. But I think there's enough, especially with the competition with John Deere.
Took his biggest client.
The alleged affair with his daughter-in-law.
He had the most reason to do it.
He had the most motive? Yeah. He had the most motive by far.
Robert.
I believe it was a drifter.
Sawyer?
It was the drifter addicted to cocaine and hired by the state senator.
Okay, different guy then. All right.
Yeah, maybe someone else. I think the state senator hired someone is what I can probably boil down.
Also, what they say is Sawyer, when he got arrested in that other town in Iowa, was 11 o'clock at night. The murders didn't happen until 12 to 5.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he got processed and released.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, what did he get arrested for? You don't know how long he was in there, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I imagine they have some sort of release record, but also, like, here's the deal. They certain it's 12 to 5, or is that their best guess?
It's a guesstimate.
Yeah, because it's 1912, right? Like, what's changed since then as far as, like, when we know people have died? I don't know.
Now I think you could tell it within an hour.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could, just from, all the shit, but yeah, that's a pretty big window to say 12 to 5, and then, okay, 11, he gets arrested. Like,
right.
What if it's, pretty
All right.
What if they also doctored that up? What if they got someone to just testify that he was arrested in a different town at the same time?
It's true.
There's a lot of shit you can muddy here, especially in 1912.
Cui bono.
You're just writing in pencil on a piece of paper.
Cui bono for Sawyer.
Well, it's for the state senator.
Yeah.
Cui bono for the other guy got paid. That's a cui bono.
And then he got paid for suing for defamation.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the real fucking kick in the nuts.
It's like, we thought we got him. Actually, we got that guy paid.
No, we got.
Yeah, we were wrong. Oh, man, it's really a sad story. It's the attic thing. The idea of someone just being in your house waiting, like,
And also, if you're like a little kid just hiding, hearing your
Well, only one person was awake, right?
yeah, so you hear the family that invited you over being brutally murdered, as if you're like the kids in Jurassic Park just hiding in the fucking kitchen.
I don't think she heard until the other person in the room with her was murdered, though, because otherwise you just run the fuck out of there.
I've looked at this. It's such a small house.
I know, right?
It's so tiny.
But
There's
if
no
you're-
way that the kids didn't hear the parents get murdered.
dude, yeah. And bro, we're sleepover.
And it
over.
creaks so hard. Like,
I'm
I don't know
sure,
how he
yeah.
snuck up on them at all.
Yeah.
Must
'Cause I've
just be-
I've seen like the paranormal ghost hunter people go in, and like every step you take, it's like,
Well, the house is 100 years old.
yeah, it's way older now. But still,
You've
still
added literally 100 years to it.
no, I think the flooring
always
sounded the
like
exact
that?
same.
always shit wood from day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just really can't imagine. Like, I remember having like a slight fear of something weird happening when I would stay at friends' houses. Like, oh, this is the time to get got. You know, anxious kid shit. But that's got to be the worst. I would be so mad if I died in anyone's house other than my own via murder. Like, I'd much rather be killed.
You want to get murdered in the comfort of your own house.
Yeah. Like, because at the end of the day, that's where I want to be anyway.
Yeah.
My home. Like, it's like I'm somewhere
There's
else.
a sense of familiarity.
Well, that, and it's like, man, if I would have stayed home,
It's true.
would have reinforced
Maybe
that.
there's something hanging on your walls, or you have a little I don't know, like trinket or something on the desk that you can look at as you bleed out.
Yeah, it's like, oh, comfort.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There's no comfort in being murdered with an axe, I guess, but
But certainly not in an unfamiliar place.
yeah. Oh no, it's all foreign.
Right. Like, you're already, it's like, everything else sucks. Like, if you, like, the bathroom's weird and
Yeah,
the smell is different.
there's always a different smell. Smells are always odd. You go into someone's house and it's like their house doesn't smell bad. It's just different than yours, but it's weird.
Yeah.
Did you guys learn anything today?
Nothing I didn't know about drifters.
Rob just got things confirmed for him today.
Nothing I didn't know about cocaine users.
Yeah. Also that.
I learned that some people are really fucking weird. Like, I already knew that, but old Andy Sawyer
Sleeping with his axe.
sleeping with his axe, jumping. I'll kill them all. What do you say? Like, I'll cut all their heads off. Like, yeah.
Look, I like pigs.
Yeah.
But with him, it's almost like he's trying too hard to come across as the killer.
Yeah.
That's why I don't believe it's him.
What if he was a deflection? Like, he's keeping the scent off.
Or
He's a
just-
crisis actor.
What if he's
the,
like?
the OG crisis actor?
What if he just like knows he's not that strong or tough? So he's like, the only way no one's gonna mess with me here
Is
out
if
on
I
the
get clout.
farmland is to act insane.
Actually, I think you might be onto something on that. He sleeps clothed. I bet he had a bad experience with, like, sexual assault.
Yeah.
And so he didn't want anyone to, like,
Right.
maybe he's having
Like
PTSD.
he knows he can't fight
sleeps-
people off.
He sleeps with an axe. He has PTSD.
Yeah.
He's probably like screaming about his harassers or assaulters or whatever from a former incident. Honestly, that doesn't surprise me at all.
Right. And he knows too. He's like, I'm not going to beat anyone in a fight, so I have to make it seem like you would never want to fight me, because I'm goddamn insane.
Right. Right. That wouldn't surprise me at all for Sawyer, actually.
Well, that's all we got for today. Leave us who you thought committed the murder in the reviews.
We have some reviews.
Yeah.
We got
Oh.
a bad review.
Let's hear it.
Oh, I'm excited for that. 1 star?
We 3 stars, so you know they were
even
mad.
worse.
Coward.
Yeah.
Coward.
From Leo Mao 1025 LEOMAU 1025.
That was your dog.
Yeah, right. But Leo's like, this guy's he
He was pissed because he kept leaving it on the podcast
for
them.
the dog.
For the dogs.
That's what we say. Leave it on for the dog. You don't have to listen to us.
Leo's just writing in like
Years. They said, and this is where it cuts deep, because I'm like, do they know us?
What they say?
But maybe we just come off like this in general.
What they say?
What'd they say?
You want to hear a few frat guys pretend to teach history while constantly interrupting each other with dumb fratty jokes. The title is Listen to This If You Want to Hear a Few Frat Guys Pretend to Teach History While Constantly Interrupting Each Other with Dumb Fratty Jokes.
Sick.
3
3
stars. though.
stars.
That's
so
cool.
they didn't hate it.
Well, they called the They call the fratty jokes dumb.
Oh,
They are kind of dumb.
they're just mad they didn't get a bid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got some good ones, too. Yo Mama, and then a bunch of numbers after it. So
Wait, is it Yo Mama or Yo Yo Ma?
it's Yo Mama.
Oh, damn it.
Like talking history with my friends. Love listening to these guys because it's like when my friends and I get together and chat sometimes, and when it's history, we just joke around, too. Kate the Grape, 22. 5 out of 5 crickets. I think I learned some things, but I definitely had fun along the way. And then we read the one about being highbrow?
Yeah, sure.
Did we read that one?
Oh,
Probably,
I don't know.
I think so.
Okay, yeah. That's from September. We probably read the one. So we got a couple new reviews.
Leave a review so we can read it on air. Hopefully 5 stars.
So first we had people attacking our banter.
Yeah.
Now we have people attacking...
The type of banter.
Yeah, the type of banter.
No, it's still the banter. Yeah.
Yeah. But they're getting more specific about why they don't like the banter.
That's
So
okay.
whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to continue being me all day.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/software history. 2 additional episodes every week. Yeah, go back and listen to the catalog for this feed. I mean, everything's evergreen, so is the Patreon. So, $5 a month on the Patreon, you get just an entire back catalog. If you like us, if you like the banter.
Probably over 100 episodes at this point, right?
At
Easily.
this point, yeah.
Yeah. Which means...
Softwarehistory.com for merch. And, again, try to leave a review. We appreciate you. Tell a friend about the podcast. It's actually the best way to grow.
Word of mouth, baby.
Word of mouth.
That's right.
We tried to cash in on some SEO for Gaza, but, that can only do so much. The real people that can make a change in our lives are you.
Or World War III.
Yeah, that too. Seems like we're more likely for the latter.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I have more faith in the world.
Excited to get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, for Jay Goldman, Rob Fox, I'm Dan Regester, and you just got saw served.